I keep forgetting how fast this series jumps right back into the story. I've gotten accustomed to recaps before starting the show, so to have the episode start right off with the Mirror Police attacking the ship took me by surprise. From there, MT does their best to get away through the door. Alan Dracula is distracted. MT then reaches into their pocket to find a leaf. This gets the deer to follow them. However, MT's wanted poster falls out as well. Everybody is able to get inside the next car, with the policemen braying on the door. They tell Jesse MT is a criminal. Jesse takes another look at the wanted poster and sees that is the case. The first policeman tries using his buffer to get through the door, but finds it doesn't work. The other policeman then tries to go for the good cop technique. He calmly explains, calling MT a dangerous extremist, then hints at their ability to manipulate others, just like their prime. This prompts a tense argument between Jesse and MT. The first policeman isn't amused and says he's going back for the lawbreaker. When I first saw this, I thought he was just saying this to let the group lessen their defenses. However, the lawbreaker is actually a device. We'll get to that later. During this argument, a lone Toad comes in saying, "Please don't kick me." They both look down in shock, wondering why. The Toad explains the only way to get out of the car is to kick him. Kinda reminds me a bit of old 2 Flash games. Don't shoot the puppy and poke the bunny. MT feels a little guilty and gets ready to kick. Jesse objects as it's just a vulnerable Toad. The argument then begins anew. At the end, Jesse is convinced to kick the Toad. However, as he winds up the kick, his number goes up. When he goes back, it's the same number. Kind of plays into this whole being pressured into doing something you don't want to do theme from the last episode. He lays down in defeat. The Toad then offers him some goodies, which is a good thing as Jesse refuses, and it's not possible for him to get him anything. MT and Jesse spend several hours staring at each other. Night passes and Alan Dracula turns into pillows. The powers in this episode are the most bizarre yet. They both begrudgingly go to the deer to sleep. Before nodding off, Jesse plays an old video. Basically, Jesse is bullied into making his little brother go through a hazing ritual. A man test, if you will. His brother fails, leaving him hurt. The friends bully him until he runs home crying. MT overhears this and wonders why he did this. In being confronted, Jesse sits right next to the door, where the mirror officer chimes in again. He tells Jesse that they are the good guys. They are trying to save him from a hostage situation. The solution is simple. His phone is reflective, and it can easily work to transport them. Before Jesse can decide, though, MT crushes the phone and then spray paints it black. Why they should trust Jesse after what he just did to his own brother. He states he did it since he didn't want to look bad in front of his friends, and never wanted to hurt his little brother Nate. MT then tells Jesse that these people are bad, to which Jesse isn't too sure of. Not coming through, MT comes clean. At the end of it, Jesse brings up a good point. If the policemen can come out of reflective surfaces, how come they don't jump out of MT? They simply write it off as people can't jump out of people. Maybe this will come up in later episodes. In reconciling, the policemen use a device known as the Lawbreaker to break down the door. The Toad then implores them to get kicked. It's the only way they will be saved. There is back and forth as to who will do it, when Alan Dracula does the kicking. Through the door, Jesse takes the Toad, locking the policeman in the car with no key out. The Toad is grateful for this, and is free to live his own life. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping that the Toad was going to stick around a while. But all of a sudden, they hear the sound of the number ticking. It goes all the way down to 14. In great happiness, Jesse hugs MT and even they start to hug back. And that's the end of the episode. I find it funny how the car itself seems like such a stupid concept, but it made for a really entertaining and thought-provoking episode. Maybe that's why they made it so simple, so they can work on a complicated story. Well, join me next time for The Parasite Car. Knowing how intense Book 1 got, I have a feeling this episode is going to be a little disturbing.